Bonny has taken lifelong pleasure in the world of words and dictionaries. What her friends really remember her for and laugh at her about is having placed an unabridged Webster's dictionary squarely on her firstborn's diaper-changing table towards the end of their first week home from the hospital. To this day, she is convinced that by reading aloud to her little bundle of joy, word after word, definition after definition, diaper change after diaper change, at all hours of the night and day, for well over 18 months, that is what is imbued little Jessie with her budding language abilities at a tender age. Jessie today says, whatever. Bonny's talk centers on how do words get into dictionaries and why should we care? Bonny Brewster.
Anyone here below the age of 40 remember what that thing is called that comes in the opposite direction towards you on a road when it only has one light?
Oh, yeah.
Under 40? Anyone know the word that is terribly politically incorrect but shows the real meaning, the deep meaning of bureaucrat with one letter changed? Now, on the other hand, anyone here ever heard the word quackoversal? Staycation.
Staycation.
Sexting. Sextine. The difference is the first bunch of words were never accepted into this thing.
Oh, wow.
That's huge. Yeah. Second, have been accepted into major dictionaries. Quackoversal is here. Staycation is to be found in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The first citing was in 2007. It was in the dictionary by 2009 because of the financial crisis. And the third, the sextine, that's been in the Oxford English Dictionary for 3 years. So, how does a word become a word? How does a thought become a word? And how does that get into one of these? Who decides? You? Me? We'll see. Now, I found the answer out many years ago when I was doing my master's in the early 80s in linguistics at NYU. My only buddy there was the sexy Mademoiselle Marie-Josée. She already had a PhD from the elite Jeux University in Paris, and she was working on her second PhD in some arcane form of lexicography at NYU. We were buddies. She was tall, gorgeous, sexy, ever so sweet, that wonderful zit French accent she had. And she had the perfect job in all the world. The perfect job. She worked at the UN, the second to the top floor, palatial windows overlooking Manhattan. On any given day, all she would do is sit there and read. Researchers come in, give her texts, read some more, scan some more, sit back and reflect. Her job was chief lexicographer, chief word maker for the entire French language community worldwide on issues of migration and migratory behavior. If a word got into usage, it was because she okayed it or created it. She was 28 years old.
Whoa.
Now, those words would be sent around the world in manila envelopes or telefaxed back then. There was no email. It would be ordered to use those words for those conditions of migratory, those new conditions, novel behaviors, worldwide migration-wise. Now, that was in the old days. I don't know what Marie-José is doing now, but that was the old days. However, think of Samuel Johnson, think of Noah Webster, that's how they did it. They would read publications, books, whatever was back in the 17 and 1800s, and from that they would determine, do we need a word? Is this a correct word? Is this a word already? 3 criteria determine whether something was accepted into the dictionary. Number 1, it had to be cited often enough. Number 2, it had to be cited over a long enough period, not just a little blurb on the horizon, but long enough that it's substantially in the corpus of the language in usage. And number 3, it needed to be cited in a wide enough array of publications, not just one author, not just one journalist, many journalists. Bingo! A word would be put into the dictionary 5 or 7 years later, maybe 10 years later, if those 3 criteria were used. So, that's the way it was earlier. And earlier is 5 to 7 years ago. The publishing world has changed, and the web exploded everything. Now, words become words ever so much more quickly. Facebook in 2004 was a bunch of college kids. Now 850 million people are users. What does that mean for our communications? What publications do we go to find out what the new words are that should be put into this? But this will no longer exist in 10 years. It will be an arcane thing only in libraries. What is happening now is online dictionaries. We have the Open Dictionary, we have the Oxford Online, we have WordNick, we have quite a few. And that gives us power, because digital natives are not patient. Digital natives want things now. Digital natives are participatory, and digital natives want democracy. So, what's happening now, truly, is you can submit forms, any word you see that either you have seen and you found it cited, or you decide, you're a crap, really should go into the dictionary. Write it down. By the way, I did a search last night. Bing does not even offer bureau crap as one of those under categories in the search engine. Bing does, or Google does. And so it's becoming a word. Let's keep it that way. Truthiness. Stephen Colbert. We all know the word truthiness, and there was a need for it. We had bullshit, and we have truth, and we have truthiness. We see in, thank you. Submit a word. That's it, isn't it?